and they are a brand. Stop looking at themselves as an individual and say, right, as you as a brand, what is your brand? And you have, what is the principles, the values of that brand, and why do they matter to you? And then the simple thing that caught most people out is how do you practice that? And
Mm.
but that's reap what you sow. How do you practice your brand values? How do you and so I do believe in the sense of what they're talking about is true in all of them. The difference is when I sell it like that, it's like, ugh, ugh. No one's interested in it. But if I hype it up and talk about quantum mechanics, quantum physics, the fourth dimension, that your thoughts can create feelings and your feelings can connect with your heart. And when you get
You're really
heart
going down
and
the Joe Dispenza route there, aren't you?
yeah, well, this is it. But if you go down that heart and mind um,
It's,
coordination, it sends a signal out to the universe. And if that signal is strong enough and it aligns with a future you, then you meet your future you. Right. So that's the same as you fat fuck, eat sensibly, come back and see me in a year, go and walk for 2 hours every day. Guess what? When I see you in a year, if you've done that, you will see I will align with your future self and you won't be a fat fuck anymore.
yeah. I'm going to caveat that with, with certain things with regards to that. There's genetics and things that you can't change. So you're only depending on your medical history or family medical history and all that kind of stuff. You've only got so much control over these things.
Yeah.
So and there's the bit that's all the caveat that's always missed out for me is how realistic is this actually for you with the variables that you've got in your life, whether that's medical, whether that's family commitments, whether that's job commitments, or whatever else. Because to get to where you want to be, you have to you have to be a little. You always have to be psychopathically focused, and
So,
everything else has got to go by
but
the wayside.
it's like you looked into day trading last year, right?
Yes.
And you spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and then maybe a few more hours studying day trading, only to discover that the best way to make money day trading is to sell a course on day trading. Right? And this is law of attraction in a nutshell. It's the basic principles of what you need to do to achieve anything is the same and has been since the universe began. Whether Jesus
Mm.
Christ said it or Teal Swan said it, it doesn't matter. The basic principles are the same. What you put out is what you receive. And that is, do you look after yourself? Do you have healthy relationships? Right. Yes. Well, then you're probably going to have a pretty good life. But if you don't look after yourself and you don't have healthy relationships, you're probably going to have a pretty shitty life. But just like day trading, just like crypto trading, just like NFTs, just like every fucking bubble there has been, there is a snake oil salesman who's going to sell you the shiny version on it of a promise when, like you said in an earlier conversation, when you were having a shit time, these things can give you hope. And that hope can elevate you out of the hole that you found yourself in the rut that you
Mm.
got stuck in. But you were very fortunate in that you knew, okay, enough now. Now's the time to stop. But recognized, just like praying, a Christian praying, it's okay. Actually, somehow gave me a bit of hope, some faith that things would work out. And you actually, for want of a better term, started to notice when things started getting better. And that enabled you to carry on a bit further. But it was separating the difference between actually, did time heal? Because this made me start thinking about the future, it took me out of the past. And is that where it's of benefit? But it's where you draw the line. For me, it's where you draw the line. It doesn't really matter what they're saying, but it's the fact that people will invest thousands and millions. And some people are not capable of seeing that they already have a good life.
And sometimes, do you know what? The other thing as well is I think the danger is for many people, and I realize I'm speaking on behalf of people I don't know or anything else here, so I'm going to caveat this is literally just my perception. Um, Many people who get hurt by the cultish
Mm,
behavior around this is they do because they don't know when enough is enough and they don't have the filter for that. And that is what makes them prey for
yeah.
people who are predatory and use
Mm,
that predatory guise. And Teal Swan is one of the best examples online of that predatory guise. Probably more so
yeah.
than Joe Dispenza.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that where I think I'm conflicted is on one hand, any if you were feeling that you're in a difficult place, you're stuck in a rut, right? And something can help you pull yourself out of that. That's a good thing.
Hmm.
But if you're not careful, it will pull you back into the position you were in. Because one of the things, like I said, is for want of a better term, there's a lot of almost middle class people who aren't really struggling but have convinced themselves they need some purpose in life. And they seek this purpose in most extraordinary ways because they're looking for some profound epiphany that they're then going to be able to sit down enlightened like Buddha himself. Um,
Yes.
and that they're all looking, and I say this as a person who wrote a book on reincarnation. They're looking for some meaning that why, what is the purpose of them being here? Why am I here? Was once upon a time, our life was so difficult. If we go based on incarnations, the lessons that you were learning. Well, one of the lessons you would have learned many generations ago is if you don't get off your ass and find some food, you're going to die.